Hey, what's up you guys? Team APS, Paul here. This isn't someone I normally have in videos. This is actually one of my friends. His name's Jaren. Say hi to the internet or something.
Hey, internet.
So, the reason why he's in this video today is because I thought, normally I have Yu-Gi-Oh experts on this channel or people who know something about it. And I thought, let's get somebody who's a bit out of character, out of the norm. So, a little bit of background. You play football, have played football a lot.
Football.
That's basically the thing you're really, really good at, right?
Pretty much.
And paid for college?
Yeah, free college tuition, 2 degrees, I'm a nerdy jock.
He can throw a ball places, things I can't do. So, what you might not expect from him though is that he's played Yu-Gi-Oh too. Believe it or not. I found this out a few months ago myself. I was surprised. He is big, so most people don't think that someone like you would play Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of strange, kind of odd, but he does.
Yeah, I was part of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan club when it first came out when I was young, so I still get periodical emails every now and then.
Alright, so I have questions. I want your opinions on things that people have to know. Okay, how'd you find out about Yu-Gi-Oh? Because I think, most people, like TV show or something like that, but you haven't, how did you find out about it?
I found out about a TV show. I mean, it was the hottest thing when I was growing up. Kids WB, I think it was called. Trusting the heart of the cards, that was my thing, I was just like, trusting the heart of the cards. And what happened for the card I needed to win or play tournaments?
What do you remember from the TV show? Just like characters and whatever was going on?
I don't know. One thing that just perplexed me when Yu-Gi-Oh! First came on, you could tell the difference between Yugi and Yami.
Yeah.
They act like they could not know. Like Yami's like 6'3" and Yugi's like 5'8". They could not tell that there's a difference.
Yeah, I always wondered that too. Like the characters, like he would transform and and everyone's just like,
oh, Yugi's doing good,
Yeah, it's no different. It's like, wait, that's not. It's actually a different person.
Then it killed me that when I think her name was Taya.
Yeah, Taya.
In love with Yami. Oh,
yeah,
that's kind of jerk offish.
The weird thing that I remember about the Yugi Yami thing was how they wore the same clothes. So I always thought how they would have Yami, he would have a cape or something, or chains and all these and all this leather. But then Yugi's 5 feet tall, so how does that work? Because
I don't know. It was I think it was the very first emo cartoon character.
Yeah. Alright, so the next thing is when you started playing the game, how did you, I guess, get your first cards or because I actually didn't know when I first found out about it, there were physical cards you could buy. I just thought it was it's just some TV show that.
No, I actually had a cousin. He had a whole 3-inch binder full of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I wanted them. And my mom went to Walmart and got me a Dark Magician 10 Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Started my collection then.
Huh. And so, just what are your memories of playing the game? What kind of deck did you use, and I
used an assortment of it, but if I had to characterize it, I was definitely a trap card specialist. I like to use blunt force trauma with my monsters, high attack, low defense, and just trick
trauma.
Yeah, and just trick everybody to my traps. I use a few magic cards here and there to help me get, I think it was the magical jar. You pull 2 cards.
Oh yeah.
Something that would give me a lot of cards in my hand to, get more trap card. But one thing with my strategy, I lost a tournament actually because I ran out of cards to pull.
Wow, that actually doesn't happen very much. That's interesting. Wait, so you've been in a tournament then?
Yes, I played in a tournament.
What was that? Where was that? Because I know
Shreveport.
I'm from there. Yeah. What type of tournament? Was that at a? Because I know they've had tournaments at so many different places.
I can't remember exactly where. I remember it was next to Sci-Port.
Oh,
the
so
Science Museum.
Yeah.
Right next to there. But I can't remember exactly. It was so.
I remember they tried to have them at Walmart and at Books a Millions, and they had one at that water park that's there.
I'm definitely scared of water.
Yeah, but you're scared of water. There's no way.
I don't go to water parks. I gotta learn how to swim in 2 days.
Yeah, So, as we kind of established at the start of this video, you are not the typical outline of a Yu-Gi-Oh player. Most people would expect someone. I'm kind of small and scrawny, but you're not. What would you say to people who, because you break the stereotype in so many words. What are your like thoughts on that? Because most people really do expect like a Yu-Gi-Oh player to be some like white nerd, scrawny, you know, or maybe some overweight, you know, like person who just doesn't. and they do exist. Like I have actually seen those type of people, like events I've gone to. But you being different, like what do you think about that?
I mean, you definitely can't judge a book by the cover. I mean, I definitely have fun watching Yu-Gi-Oh, playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, I'm an avid cartoon fan, you know, anime fan. And you look at me, like I say, I played football for college, and nobody would ever guess it until I start talking. Like one of my favorite cartoons is Dragon Ball Z. But it's actually more guys out there like me, because a lot of my teammates, we get to talk about, we have in-depth conversations on plane rides or bus rides to games about Yu-Gi-Oh.
Probably true. There's a lot of free time to just talk.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot more guys out there. They probably just doesn't go to the extent that the stereotypical person that likes Yu-Gi-Oh don't go to their extent, you know, to wearing the costume, wearing that, but there definitely is a fan base across all people.
So more people, you would say, than so like the people that people don't necessarily think would like this.
There's a lot
might
more,
actually.
There's a lot more people out there that you know they give credit for it.
All right, so I've got some new Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You played in I guess like 2000 and early 2000s, maybe
early
3, 4, 5, I don't know.
Had to be around about 5 because I was in the 9th grade in 07.
Have you heard of then? Probably not a synchro monster. No. Never heard of that?
No.
Okay, that is this white card. I'll put an image on the screen of what I'm showing him so you guys can see.
Okay.
What do you think of this? Okay, the way that this works is these monsters, they're not normal monsters. They don't go in your deck. They go in what's called an extra deck that's like beside your deck, and you have to summon them by using a tuner monster, which is this type of thing. Here, I'll find one. Tuner monster. So like this is like a dragon and it's a tuner, and you have to put a tuner with like a non-tuner like this. This is just a regular thing, and you send them both to the graveyard and you summon that. A lot of people don't like that mechanic actually. Like I mean, a lot of people have adapted to it and they just use it as normal, but there are people who would say that that's kind of overcomplicated and kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, that is that far. I mean, because with this, you get, according to what you just showed me, you got to sacrifice the blue eyes white dragon just to get this, and no, I just couldn't. I would not make this part of my strategy. Sacrifice the
not
blue
worth
eyes.
the trouble.
Yeah, for this monster, no, not for me.
Next thing. This is an even newer kind, you know. This one's white, that's black, so some racism now. No, this is called an Xyzs monster. Xyzs literally being spelled XYZ, like that's how you say the monster's name. It's kind of weird. This, you have to take 2 monsters. So like he says 2 level 8 monsters. So like you have to take, say, this is level 8, is a blue eyes. And, so if you have like 2 blue eyes, and instead of sending them to the grave, you put them like on top of each other sort of, and then you put this on top of that, and this gets like some special effects whenever you detach these is what it's called. Is this just like not really, do you feel like this was is a meaningful change, or do you think they should have just stuck with like monsters as it is?
I mean, if I had to choose between the Synchro monsters and the Xyzs monsters, I would definitely go with this one. But still, there's the point of sacrificing powerful monsters to get these. And it's not really much difference between attack, power, and defense. So it's definitely overcomplicating things for me.
Now, normally I would show you these new things called pendulum monsters. I don't know if I've got one on me. Hopefully I do. I don't know. Okay, well I'll just explain it and you'll immediately see why people hate this. There's a new thing called pendulum monsters. They're half monster, half spell. So like, think the top of the card is like, yellowish orange or whatever, the bottom of it's green, and there's these new zones on the playmats. I think I might have no, I don't have a mat that has it, where like you put them as scales on either side of your mat, and then you can use them to summon more monsters. A lot of people think that's just too complicated. Would you say, I mean, like, that just feels a bit unnecessary? I wish I had one to show for an example, but
yeah, someone probably better help me understand it, but I mean, I don't. The logic behind having a half monster, half magic card.
Yeah, a lot of people feel like that alone is a bit unnecessary, a bit weird.
I don't know. I'm an old-fashioned guy, but changing a game that's been great throughout the years and added these complicated rules and all this, I don't like it. It's just like the new Pokemon games versus the old Pokemon games.
The new ones are okay though. The new anime is weird.
I don't like the DS ones. I like the old Game Boy and Game Boy Advances.
Now you remember how Yugi looked and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to show you the most recent character in the new.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, the new character in the new anime. This is him. What are your first impressions of this character? I'll put it up on the screen. You guys will be able to see it.
Wasn't for all the green, he would fit into the Yu-Gi-Oh universe for me. But that green and
My first thought of him, like here's like another picture. My first thought on this character was he looks like a tomato.
A tomato?
Yeah, no, does he not? I mean, look at this. Like it's like the great tomato has like the green.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Have you ever watched the old anime Rurouni Kenshin?
Yes. Rurouni Kenshin is the best.
Yes,
I love that anime. That is good.
You remember when they were fighting Makoto Shishio?
Yeah, that was my favorite arc of that entire thing.
Mine too. But you remember it had the cross dresser, the one that had the big old scythe. That was
and he was in love with Shishio.
Yeah, that guy reminds me of her.
And also, I want to show you one more character. So that was Yuya. His name is Yuya Sakaki. Weird name, but this is another one of the new characters. His name is Yuma Tsukumo. The names get a little bit strange, but I guess they have to keep the U theme. He's a kid.
Okay, I watched one episode with him on there. Did not like him whatsoever. Did not.
First impressions of this character. What do we think?
Cheap Yu-Gi-Oh knockoff. Cheap Yami knockoff.
I mean, he's a kid though, so I mean, like maybe they were trying to make it for, like, because I haven't watched that much of this version of the anime, but he's supposed to be like 12 years old, like 11 or 12 or 13, like something in that age range. Because like Yugi was in high school, this kid's like a middle schooler. So do you think this would be cool to the kids today, or do you think this is honestly just? Because I'm not a big fan of his design.
I'm not either. But I just feel like if this guy was in the same universe as Kaiba would destroy him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. These characters look a lot less
formidable,
less threatening. Yeah, they're just kind of more like.
Oh no, I think that's the difference between cartoons that we grew up on and cartoons that these kids are growing up now.
Yeah, that's true.
Our cartoons characters got killed, and they got banished to the dark side, never heard from again.
That's true, and the funny thing about Yu-Gi-Oh, you might not know this about the anime, but like the anime that we watched on television, where like they went to the Shadow Realm or whatever, and like if you lose your soul. The truth is, even in the English version, that was just like kind of a censored version of the story, because in the Japanese versions, the characters, if you lost, like you just died. Like the Shadow Realm in the original version was not actually the Shadow Realm. It was just a dark place, and if you lost, you died.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if you remember, like, characters like Merrick, who had like the rod or whatever.
Yeah, Merrick was bad.
Yeah, Merrick was crazy, and then he went even crazier later on. Well, the thing was, like, you know how he was evil, and he had that Millennium Rod thing. And there was that guy Odeon, who, I guess while he was around, like Merrick didn't go crazy, but then once Odeon got knocked out, like then Merrick goes crazy. When Merrick went crazy, you see this scene where like he comes into Odeon's room because Odeon's unconscious, he's just on this bed, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna send you to the Shadow Realm. But the truth is, in the Japanese version of that episode, he was just going to kill him. Yeah. Like he was gonna use the rod and just literally like stab him. And even in Duelist Kingdom, when they go to Pegasus Island or whatever, like all of the guards there normally have guns, and in the English version they just edited out all of the guns. So like there will be these weird scenes where like they're just kind of pointing because they turn their gun into like just their hand. So like those sort of point at you, and yeah, it's really weird. But then in these new versions of the anime or whatever, it's just like kids and stuff like that. So
that sucks. I couldn't.
Kind of weird.
I couldn't get into it.
So wrapping this up then. Compared to when you played Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, how do you feel like things are different culturally, like today? Is it because I remember when I played in like elementary, second grade maybe, I don't know, some grade like that, it was, most people played it, and then there was like kind of, everyone goes through that phase where people think it's really weird to play this game and like kind of nerdy, but then as I've gotten older, I've realized more people are just kind of like like, you know, do what you want to do. So what do you think of that? Like, do you feel like it's...
Yeah, Gary, I really think that most people doesn't care. I mean, that whole thing talking about nerds and jocks and that type of stuff, I think that played out in the 80s and 90s, you know. People really don't care about it too much. If you like, you like. If you don't, you don't. I mean, like I said, I still watch Dragon Ball Z. Me and my teammates, we talked about Dragon Ball Z all the time. And we used to talk about Yu Yu Hakusho.
I've heard of that, yeah.
And the Spirit Detective, we used to talk about that, you know, not too many people know about it.
I'm so glad you watched Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, I love
that.
Rurouni.
Oh
That's my favorite. That's my favorite, you know.
My favorite, real quick aside, my favorite character in that is Sojiro, the Tenkin. The kid who always smiles or whatever and like doesn't, and then like he's the first character in that series to like slash Kenshin in the back.
Oh yeah. Okay,
yeah.
I was thinking about the other guy.
Yeah, like he just looks really plain and like
Makoto Shisho was definitely one of my favorite characters. My favorite episode when he goes to hell and his girlfriend says that I told you if we waited a while he'll show up, you know, his business partner. And
he's I remember that.
Fate, the gods decided to frown upon me and intervene. It was so scary to me that they intervened. He said, now we're gonna take over hell.
Yeah, I like that.
That was the most BA part of the whole series.
I just love the entire thing. I thought that the main character was cool, the sword stuff was cool. Like, I love that anime.
Yeah, it was definitely good. I mean, my top favorite animes definitely is Rurouni Kenshin, Yu Yu Hakusho. And recent ones that I cannot for the life of me figure out why they took forever to make is Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan is cool.
And the Seven Deadly Sins. Those are the two newer ones I'm watching, and they were good. I'm also getting to the Blue Exorcist.
So that was our video. Hopefully this was a nice change of pace. You know, normally I just talk about, you know, new Yu-Gi-Oh things and competitive stuff or whatever. So I thought this would be kind of a breath of fresh air. You know, someone you didn't expect to see on this channel. So in the comments, let us know, have you met somebody maybe, you know, to surprise you when you found out that they played Yu-Gi-Oh? Because like I said, do a quick sort of pan, like turn around here, like this guy you wouldn't expect, but then like surprise, so anyone can actually play Yu-Gi-Oh, you never know. And have you had an experience like that? Leave it in the comments. I would like to know your thoughts on this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this and it was maybe eye-opening, a little bit surprising. And if you did, give it a thumbs up, share it because this is interesting, it's different. And subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! I try to upload on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays.
Maybe after 6 months, come beat Paul telling the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel live.
Yeah, if you want to see in some who knows when period of time that probably may not happen, who knows, I should teach you how to use like new stuff. Xyzs monsters, Synchro monsters, we can make that a video.
We can.
But if this has to get like 1,000 likes, so only if it gets like 1,000 likes. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and that's gonna be it. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thanks for having me, Paul.
All right. Cool. Later, guys.